This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
White trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. Cat drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
Hey, everybody. Welcome to King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike.
And believe it or not, I am Rusty.
That's Rusty.
Oh, and Artie got in some notes real sneakily.
Oh,
there.
man. Look at Artie.
It ain't a lot, but it's something. Appreciate it, Artie.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
We're trying to stack some episodes here because
Yeah.
Rusty just had a human, and you never know what life's going to bring you. So we are at season 6, episode 18, or in the year of our Lord 6 ABE 16, my own private rodeo.
Yeah,
It
this
is
one is
April 28, 2002.
this one is one of those episodes where when people say, "Oh, King of the Hill is super conservative. King of the Hill is
Yeah,
this.
point 'em-
King of the
point 'em
Hill
to
is
this
that."
one.
This
Point
is
'em
one of
to
those episodes that contradicts that. Also in chat here we've got Zachary Quecho. He
Zachary?
says, "Congrats, Rusty. Appreciate that. Thank you."
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Oh, shoot. I've got comments over here, too.
Yeah, man, we're getting a lot of
Oh,
engagement
look at
this
that. We got a
morning.
bunch of 'em.
Everybody's
Yeah.
popping up.
RT.
It's enough, Artie. We'll
That's
fill in
great,
the
man.
blanks.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thanks, buddy.
I'm just
Appreciate
glad that you got me something to at least have for reference in front of me.
Artie's the best. He is our official fact checker and keeper on schedule.
I can generally pull facts for stuff out of my butt here, but it's good to have some written down,
Rusty's butt is full of facts.
full of facts.
All right, so season 6, episode 18, my own private rodeo. No bell, no yell. We start in the Bridal Path Wedding Boutique.
Yep.
It's Peggy and Nancy. Nancy comes out in a white wedding dress. Peggy goes, no. And Nancy goes, oh, shoot. I just want this renewal of vows to be perfect. 20 years with Dale. And Peggy says, and 1 year since you stopped cheating on him with John Redcorn. She goes, I can still wear white.
Man, hey, if you're happy and you're feeling joy, just call Peggy. She'll go
she'll
ahead
squash it
and
for you
knock you
anytime.
out. That's so fucked up of Peggy.
She goes, I can still wear white, can I? She goes, no. She goes, but Shug, if I don't wear white, Dale might get suspicious. And right now, the only ones who know about the affair are me, John Redcorn, and God. And you, and Hank, and Bill, and
Everybody
Boomhauer,
else in the whole
and
neighborhood.
possibly Bobby, and of course, John Redcorn's sister. She got a mouth on her. Peggy says, well, it's your funeral. Just kidding. It's your wedding. It'll be a dream come true. Oh, Peggy, come on. Okay, so
Peggy,
all four
Peggy,
guys are in
Peggy.
the alley. Nancy comes walking up, and Dale's, hey, Bunnykins, how's my fiance? Nancy walks up. She goes, I'm just running over our guest list to Peggy. She's my remade of honor, and she's been dying to use her calligraphy kit. She looks at the list, and he looks at the list, and he goes, odd, vexing. My father's name is on the list. Make sure his full name reads Bug Gribble, womanizing jerk who is not invited to my re-wedding because I hate him. She goes, well, come on, Shug. Sometimes good people do bad things for them years and years. Can't you forgive? He goes, zip, 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 zip. He goes, need I remind you of what my father did on our wedding day? Need I? And then we go into a flashback. We got some rock music playing. Dale's in a white tux. He's pouring Alamo into one of those like champagne towers where they line up the glasses and stuff, but it's Alamo beer flowing through there. He goes, it was the most lavish potluck wedding of the neighborhood had ever seen. Potluck wedding.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
He says in this, he goes, thanks for coming. I'll let you all know how the deflowering went. That is not something I need from you, Dale.
Yeah, don't ever say deflower
He
again.
goes, full of love in my heart and wedding beer in my bladder. I went inside to use the restroom where I was confronted by a horrible sight. He sees Bill puking into the toilet. And by the way, Bill still has hair. And he goes, "Ooh, sorry." He goes, rock and roll, man. And then Dale goes, yeah, rocket, and then starts puking again. He goes, so naturally I headed for the kitchen sink, and that's to pee, by the way. He headed to the kitchen sink to pee.
Kitchen sink to piss. It sounds like a place where you should be pissing.
And he goes, and that's where I saw it. And you get some sobbing that starts to happen. He sees his dad kissing Nancy in her wedding dress. It's in the kitchen where they were getting married. And so what we're getting is that his dad, French Nancy on her wedding day. And so that's why he's been pissed off at him for the last 20, 30 years.
Oh, okay.
And so he goes,
sorry to interrupt you. Already hit me with a little fact real quick. He said the only other time we've actually physically seen Dale's father was in the episode Now Who's the Dummy? And it's where he's all scary looking. He's got like a cigarette in his mouth.
Oh, okay. This is after he was reformed then, I guess, right?
I guess.
He goes, damn you, daddy. And he goes up and slaps his dad, kind of. Like, it's like that kind of slap. Damn you, daddy. Like, he slaps him in the face.
Yeah.
He starts sobbing. He runs off crying. We go back to real life, and he goes, I love my dad like a father, and he betrayed me like a betrayer. Nancy goes, please, Dale, I want this re-wedding to be a fresh start for all of us. If I can forgive him for tongue stabbing me on my holy day, why can't you? Tongue stabbing me on my holy day.
I don't understand where they come up with these weird analogies, but honestly, so are they saying that his dad like sexually harassed her on his wedding day?
We get the story here in a second.
Okay.
But what Dale thinks is that, yes, he sexually harassed Nancy. By
I thought it was just like a father-in-law giving his daughter-in-law a peck on the cheek or something.
No, this was full-on tongue. Bill says, he probably misses you, Dale. I know I miss my dad. I can't tell you how many nights he locked me in that rabbit hutch. I deserved it, though. I just couldn't listen. He locked him in a rabbit hutch. Bill was locked in a rabbit hutch as a child. Now we're understanding some of his trauma. He goes, my dad doesn't care about me. He's a big rodeo star, going town to town, delighting children and defiling women. He storms off. Now we're at the Hill House at the dinner table, the kitchen, and Bobby says, and right in the middle of the re-wedding, I pop out of the cake with 2 sparklers. Peggy goes, I like it. I like it a lot, except for the part about you. But the cake part, now that is an excellent idea. Well, at that point, it's just a cake, Peggy. It's just a cake.
Well, who in the hell's popping out of cakes?
Nancy comes in through the sliding door because they never leave that locked. Hey, Shugs. And Peggy says, imagine this, a re-wedding cake. Now, just let that sink in. It's just a cake, Peggy. That's all that is. It's not even your idea. It's just a damn cake. She hands something to Hank, and she says, I have a favor to ask. Would you bring this invite to Dale's dad? He goes, Nancy? He goes, Hank, it's been 20 years. Maybe Bug has changed. I've changed. If he has, invite him so he can give Dale away again. So he can give Dale away again. It's not something that happens. If he hasn't,
that's not normal.
If he hasn't, tell him I look great and tell him to go to hell. He says, I don't know. Bug's a cowboy. How do you even find a cowboy? She goes, in his last postcard, he said his rodeo was going to be in Coburn through the end of the month. Pretty please? He goes, well, I guess I am the best man. And with the joy of responsibility comes the burden of obligation. So now we're at the Coburn Fairgrounds. And this is the LGRA Rodeo. It says LGRA Rodeo today. Now, in this, it is the Lone Star Gay Rodeo Association. But I looked it up, and there is an IRGA, which is the International Gay Rodeo Association. Yep. Then there is an LGRA, but it is the Liberty Gay Rodeo Association.
Yeah.
So those are real things. Hank is walking around with Bill and Boomhauer. And they're just kind of looking around. And by the way, it's all stereotypical gay guys, like, you know, the mustaches and chaps and the whole thing. Very few people have shirts on and all this stuff. So if you wanted to say that this was like a jab at gay culture or whatever, I guess you could. But when we get through this story, you realize nobody here has any animosity towards anybody in this story.
No, not at all.
As far as being gay, it's more about the fact that you kissed my wife on our wedding day.
That's all it's
really
about.
all it was, you know?
Wasn't about nothing else but
Yeah,
that.
it's about absolutely nothing else. So they're walking around.
Another great rodeo movie, though,
8 seconds.
Dallas Buyers Club.
Mm.
I'm just kidding. That's not a good rodeo movie.
They're all walking around. He goes, I wonder why so many cowboys have mustaches. Bill points to a couple of guys in cutoffs, and he goes, oh, my God, look, the beer tent. And so he looks right past the guys, right, and he just sees the beer tent.
Yeah.
You hear YMCA by the Village People playing on the sound system. Some folks are dancing. And Hank goes, I kind of like this song. You know, the YMCA has terrific facilities.
I got to ask you that are the Village People were they actually gay, or was that just like the gay culture just adopt that as their theme song?
I think members were, but I don't want to speak out of turn either.
Yeah. No worries.
So they're looking through there and they see the YMCA dancers, and he mentions how great the facilities are at YMCA. Bill goes, ooh, rainbows. And he looks over and there's a whole thing full of rainbow shirts. And of course, this doesn't affect them. They don't even realize, oh, it's rainbows. It's all guys. They don't think anything about it. So they go to sit in the stands. Bill has bought one of these rainbow shirts. And, of course, Bill buys the ones that's too small for him. So his gut's hanging out.
It's real tight on him, unnecessarily.
He looks around in the stand and goes, where are all the ladies? And Hank goes, well, they're probably crowding around Dale's dad's trailer. I bet half these poor bastards are losing their girls right now. The announcer, who is the exact same announcer for everything in King of the Hill, which it's the guy who plays Dale, but he's doing a lot of that. He comes on and goes, next up on the drag race, it's Buttercup McGee in a fetching Ann Taylor sundress. And he's out. And so it's a guy in a full sundress on the back of a bucking bronco, and he's trying to ride it, you know, just like anything else. And Bill looks at it and goes, hey, that guy's wearing a dress. He goes, yeah, he must have lost some kind of crazy cowboy bet. Boy, does he feel silly.
Tug is the announcer's name.
What's that?
Tug.
According
to Artie, anyway.
He goes, and Buttercup goes down, but don't go anywhere. Rodeo fans. Up next, Bug Gribble takes on one of the meanest goats in Texas, and the fun is just beginning here at the gay rodeo. Hank looks around and goes, did he just say the gay rodeo?
That makes sense.
And then he looks around.
It made sense, yeah.
And then they just start kind of giggling, his friends, and he goes, shut up, Bill. Don't laugh. They can hear you. He goes, gay rodeo. And then Boomhauer's like, yeah, gang, yo, Blazing Saddles, man. He goes, come on,
Blazing
guys.
Saddles, that's funny.
Yeah, he goes, come on, guys, keep it together. You're acting like a bunch of 12-year-olds. This is a real sporting event. I saw it on ESPN3. Oh, that's where they parked poor Fran Tarkenton. Bill says, I don't get it. Why would Bug be in a gay rodeo? He goes, well, the guy's 60. Maybe he couldn't make it on the regular circuit. It's like those guys who have to play European basketball or Canadian football. And then the announcer comes back on. And now, please direct your eyes to the main area of the event for the day. Bug Gribble and Madeline the goat. The goat runs out. Bug is in fur chaps. He comes out with his guns, shoots up in the sky. He puts the guns in, and then he starts chasing the goat. By the way, RuPaul's Cover Girl is playing this entire time.
Yeah.
And he is, we go to Bill, and he goes, what the hell is he doing? Is Bug doing to that goat? Hank says, is he trying to put ladies' undergarments on that animal? And then buzzer sounds, and it shows the time, which is 10.026 seconds. And there are panties on that goat now. And Bug looks at the audience and goes, thank you, girls. I love you all. And then Hank says, oh, my God, Dale's dad is gay. And then you see them all throwing roses at him and stuff. So if you were to stop the show right here, you would be in that argument of, Hank's conservative, he doesn't like this, doesn't like that, whatever. If you don't take the entirety of the show into consideration, you don't know how this thing turns out.
No, not at all.
So that is the first commercial break. We're at the gay rodeo. All the goats have panties on, and we will be
right back.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
Hi, I'm Caroline.
And we have a new podcast for you. What's it called, Caroline?
Bloody Happy Hour.
It's going to be your new favorite guilty pleasure. We're going to talk about some bloody stuff. Serial killers, true crime, rapists. Why not join us? We'll have a good time.
You literally never know. I don't know what I'm going to say. Bloody Happy Hour. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
All right, and we are
back.
We're back.
Back.
All three guys are walking around the rodeo, and Bill says to Boomhauer, you want to go get some cotton candy? That'd make me happy. Or should I say gay? And Boomhauer's like, oh, good, my man. Hank is like, all right, they're gay. Ha, ha, ha. Now, here's trailer number 7. We got to go talk to Bug. Bill says, no, you go ahead, Hank. Boomhauer and I are going to go out in the parking lot and make out. We're both men. and Boomhauer's like, Tree, man, you on a roll, man. And they just kind of they walk off just laughing to themselves and giggling like a bunch of 12-year-olds. Hank's like, jerks. He knocks on the door. From the inside, you hear, no autographs unless I'm signing your chest. And then he opens the door and he goes, hello, Mr. Gribble. Oh, little Hanky Hill. Come on in. Entree-vous. FYI, it's a mess. And by the way, when you look around, it is not a mess. It's like immaculate. He goes, so what are you doing here today? Are you gay? It's just like straight up. It's a question. Are you gay?
That's rough.
He goes, wait, what? No, I sell propane. Like those two things can't go together. If you sell propane, you can't be gay.
Yeah, you can't be gay if you sell
propane. Oh, my Lord, something has happened to Dale, hasn't it?
All of the gay propane salesmen
right
now are pissed.
He goes, he didn't return to send her my last postcard. No, everything's fine. Dale and Nancy are renewing their wedding vows, and she wanted me to invite you as kind of a surprise for Dale. He goes, oh God, the wedding. That was not this cowpoke's finest hour. He goes, yeah, my friends are waiting for me. Like he just wants out of this, Hank. I mean, he's not a guy that sticks around for controversy. He goes, honey, wait, I want to tell you what really happened. The unabashed truth. It was 20 years ago. We get a flashback now coming from Bug.
Yep.
He goes, I was not being honest with myself, let alone others. And I was explaining this to this most beautiful Filipino caterer. He leaned in close. They were like about to kiss, him and this caterer. And then Dale starts coming through and he hears him say, rock and roll, man, like he was saying to Bill as Bill was throwing up. And so Dale is coming down the hall. He goes, I saw Dale coming. I panicked, and I grabbed the nearest thing in a dress, and he started kissing Nancy. And then Dale comes in, Dad. And he goes, every day I think about the mess I've made, things. I'm tortured, Hank. But maybe now I've got another chance to get back in my son's life. It comes back to reality. Hank says, yeah, the invitation didn't say anything about formal attire, but I'm guessing you might want to, tone it down a bit.
Yeah.
Because don't worry, I'm not going to wear spangles and rhinestones when I see Dale. Those are my stage clothes. Gay rodeo is theater, honey. It's just camp. Kitschy fun. He goes, so I'll see you later. Have fun at your camp. And then this guy comes through the door. We find out is Juan Pedro. He goes, who wants paella? Gary and Mike made it. It's decadent. Oh, company. And who are you? Looking at Hank.
I don't know why they always do that. Like one of the things that I noticed about gay tropes, it's always some like weird food item.
Well, it's a food
oh my
item
gosh, I made you a banana nut bread. Like why do they have to be? Where are the? I like it whenever they have a gay man portrayed like a man's man, like a firefighter.
We never see a lot of
lumberjack or construction worker.
Meatloaf,
Well, that's one of the things I liked about the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, the Titus Andromedon or whatever on there. The character, the gay character on that show, he ends up having that relationship with the gay construction worker.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool because he's like this manly man construction worker.
His, being gay and all the guys. And all
yeah.
that So we're hearing from Juan Pedro now. Bug is having to explain to him, Juan Pedro, this is Hank Hill. He's a friend of a friend. He goes, I'm a friend of his son. He goes, you have a son? Bug, how can you have a son? I ask you a question. How can you have a son? He goes, Hank says, well, you see, when a man and a woman care for each other, what happens is he's not going to go
He's going to give the birds and the bees. Yeah.
Yeah. And Bug goes, I was married. He goes, married? You lying snake. And he throws the food at him like it's a full-on argument at this point.
Yeah.
He goes, no, I was confused, and it was a very painful time for me. And I want to share your pain, but you hide from me. He goes, I'm sorry, Juan Pedro. Please, please, Juan Pedro. And they're both crying and wailing. And Hank looks at it and goes, gentlemen? And he just leaves. He's just like, I'm out. I'm gone. All right, we're at Gribble's house for dinner with Dale and Nancy. Dale says, by the way, Pumpkin, the federal government may use this wedding as an opportunity to make its move on me. So some of the champagne bottles may contain gasoline and rags. Or was it the wine bottles? That's a problem. You hear the doorbell ring. Dale answers the door. He goes, it's his dad. He goes, howdy, Dale, son. He goes, you. I've been waiting 20 years for this moment. Prepare to be destroyed by the deadliest of all martial arts, monkey style. Then he starts rolling around, kicking and screaming and making monkey noises. He goes, pressure point, gouge the eyes, grab the tongue, Achilles tendon. He goes, I deserve that. I deserve that. And any other kind of monkey mischief you can throw at me. He goes, I hate myself for what I did to you. Dale says, I hate you more. Trust me, I'm an expert hater. He goes, I don't blame you. Planting one on Nancy was the worst, most disgusting thing I've ever done. And I'm here to say I want my boy back. He gets down on one knee and just starts crying. He goes, my God, you're pathetic. And to think I once called you. And then his voice starts, Daddy. He goes, son, Daddy, let it out, child. I'm crying. I mean, they just fall into a mess, you know, and they're hugging and kissing and crying and all this stuff. Now we see Dale and Nancy in bed, and Dale has obviously just gotten over this whole thing. He says, if you had told me last week I'd be lying in bed pasting my father's head back onto family photos, I'd have called you nuts. But here we are. He's got little tiny pictures of the guy's head, and he's just using tweezers to paste them back onto photos. She says, Nancy says, I'm glad you're back, Shug. But haven't you noticed anything different about your dad? Doesn't he seem a little fancier? He goes, the only thing that's different is he's here, and I love him. He kisses her on the cheek and goes, yep, as long as he keeps his hands off your hot body, we're cool. Next day, we're in the alley with all three. Bill is still in his rainbow shirt, so he hasn't changed at all. Over the fence, Dale goes, psst, guys, do you want to see the most heartwarming sight you've ever seen? Look at my dad's teaching Joseph an old cowboy trick. And he's over there teaching Joseph how to put panties on a goat.
I don't know if that's an old cowboy trick.
He goes, remember,
that like the I guess that's the putting panties on a goat is like their idea of like doing calf roping.
I guess, man.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's a funny twist.
He goes, remember, keep your forearms angled. Don't let the panties slip over your elbows. Joseph, don't worry, Grandpa. That's goats getting pantied. Dale says, yeah, I bet some babe at the rodeo threw those panties at my dad and he kept them as a souvenir. All three of them kind just kind of look at each other. Now we've got all four plus Bug in the alley. And you hear, yep, mm-hmm, yep. And then Bug says, oh, my turn? Yep. Juan Carlos drives up and says, Bug Gribble's taxi service. And he goes, oh, God, I completely forgot. Dale, this is Juan Pedro, my special friend.
Yeah.
He goes, nice to meet you. Any special friend of my dad's is a special friend of mine. These are my special friends, Hank, Bill, and Boomhauer. And Bill just starts kind of giggling and slapping Boomhauer. Oh, man. He goes, son, I'm so sorry. Juan Pedro and I have plans tonight. He says, but Dad, you were supposed to go to gun club to show my buddies your pistol twirling. And then Juan Pedro says, but we were supposed to play Taboo with Gary and Mike tonight. He goes, oh, I'm in quite the pickle. He goes, what to do? Dale says, look, Juan Pedro, why don't you come to gun club with us tonight? Then tomorrow we can all go to Gary and Mike's and play Taboo. He goes, well, okay, we can do Gary and Mike anytime. I'll wait till you try my margaritas. He goes, great. Hank likes margaritas. Hey, Hank, you coming over to Gary and Mike's tomorrow for margaritas and Taboo? Hank just goes, nope. He just says, nope.
That's funny.
And Juan Pedro goes, oh, I know you. Hello, Hank. He goes, hello, Juan Pedro. I mean, that is the thing with Hank. Like, it wouldn't matter if this is a gay guy or not a gay guy. he doesn't want to meet new people.
No, he doesn't
want
like
to hang
new
out with new
people.
people.
Nah.
He's got enough people in his life.
Yeah, he doesn't like meeting new people very often.
Nope. All right, so we're at Deluxe Tux now.
Whoa.
Another place we've never seen.
Deluxe Tux.
And Bug is trying to help Dale tie his tie. Dale says, I never knew you could buy ties that weren't pre-tied. He goes, oh, sweetie, I have so much to teach you. He goes, speaking of which, Dad, I'm a little nervous about my re-wedding night. You've satisfied thousands of women. You got any pointers? Joseph comes out. He's only in shorts and a vest. And he goes, check it out, Dad. I'm John Redcorn, which it's a little close to home as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
He goes, I don't see it. I'll show you how to do John Redcorn. Excuse us. And they both walk off. And then Bug sits down with Nancy and he goes, Joseph is such a beautiful boy. Is he adopted? He goes, oh, not really. No, it's a long story. He goes, Nancy. She goes, I know. Dale then comes out of the dressing room. He's in a vest, just like Joseph. He goes, I must rechannel the energy of your wife's ancestors' spirit winds. And they both just started laughing and stuff. And then he sees Bug over there whispering to Nancy. And of course, that rekindles the thought in his head that he's going to try to kiss his wife. And he goes, you hear over there, and Bug says, have you told Dale yet? She goes, I've thought about it, but telling your husband you cheated on him is such an unpleasant conversation. I think the party will be much more fun if you and I just stay in the closet. He goes, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but I can't do that anymore. She goes, no. He goes, Dale needs to know his daddy is queerer than a box of birds, which was just
queerer than a box of birds. Yeah. That's a new one.
Dale is super mad, and we know that because he throws a knife at his father. It lands in the chest of the mannequin right behind him. And he says, get away from my wife, or next time I'll aim for the mannequin and hit you. Well, I mean, at least he's in touch with the fact that he can't hit a target. I guess he knows that.
Well, I think it's funny that he tried to hit his dad and missed.
With a knife. He goes, he says, get away from my wife next time or I'll hit you. He goes, Dale, there's something I need to tell you to get off my chest. If we're going to have a real relationship again, we should be 100% Oprah honest with each other. He goes, are you in love with Nancy? I'm not the man you think I am. My rodeo is a gay rodeo. He goes, why would you, a confirmed bachelor such as yourself, work at a gay rodeo? I mean, honestly, Dale is so clueless, it's not even funny. Like, he does not put two and two together for a guy
he can't put anything together.
Oh boy. He goes, honey,
even
when I was married to your mother, I was leading a secret life. Don't you see? Juan Pedro is not just my special friend. He's my partner. He goes, partner? Why do you need a partner to work at the gay rodeo? Gay rodeo. He goes, wait a minute. Oh my God, I can't believe this. My own father. Bug says, Dale, I forget I said anything. We were having so much fun. Let's just go back being a family again. He goes, too late. You're re-uninvited to my re-wedding. Now get out. He goes, Dale, please. He goes, get out. I can never trust you again. Get out before I have Nancy throw you out. And so Bug leaves crying. She comes up. Oh, Shug. He goes, I can't believe it. It was right in front of my face this whole time. My father is a government agent. Well, I don't know where you got that from, Dale, but that's not it. She says, he told you that? And he didn't have to. A secret life, working undercover with a partner. What other explanation is there? Oh, God, this is my worst nightmare come true, Nancy. I don't know what to do. No one's ever deceived me before. And then he hugs Nancy, and it goes to commercial break. So I think we can now answer two questions here.
Yep.
One, Dale has no friggin' clue about Joseph.
No, he does not.
And anybody who brings that up, I think you're wrong, and all you got to do is look at this episode.
Yeah, he does. He doesn't have a clue.
And he is not even concerned with the gay part. He cannot put two and two together.
He can't. He's not. He's
just not good at it.
He's not good at it. And also, I still think there's a bit of him playing around with everybody. I think he knows. I think he still does.
I don't think he does. All right.
This one makes it hard to stick to that. But
that takes us to our second commercial break. We're going to go ahead and take that with a special word from Goat Panties, and we will be
right back.
Snack Attack is a podcast about the history of your favorite snacks, candies, and treats. Each 5-minute or less episode features the history of a great snack from around the world. We'll also visit what the status of the snack is today and give you a little knowledge to lord over your friend. Snack Attack is available anywhere you get your podcast or at roguemedianetwork.com. Let's get snacking.
Step into the unexpected with Cultastic, or How to Start a Cult Without Really Trying. A podcast where cult creation unfolds in the most unpredictable way. Join us on a unique journey into the world of theoretical cult formation. Unlike any other podcast, each episode of Cultastic is co-written in part using ChatGPT, and we let it decide our fate, good or bad. What makes Cultastic truly intriguing? We don't know what's coming each week. Together with our AI co-author, we'll discover and build this cult, one episode at a time, exploring various aspects of cult dynamics, leadership, and group psychology. Delve into themes of charisma, influence, and the power of group thinking. It's a blend of expert analysis, theoretical exploration, and the unforeseen twists of AI-generated ideas. Remember, Cultastic is an exercise in imagination and education where we weave a narrative one episode and one tenant at a time. Curious about where this journey will take us? Subscribe to Cultastic or How to Start a Cult without really trying on your favorite podcast platform or at roguemedianetwork.com. Let's build this mission to save the people of Earth, week by unpredictable week.
All right, and we are back. We're in the alley.
back.
With all four guys, and they're all in tuxes.
They are tuxedoed
They're
out,
ready for the wedding. And
which is funny seeing them all in suits like that.
oh yeah, no kidding. And Hank says, "Well, I guess I can fit in one more beer before the ceremony." And Dale says, "Can you believe it? My own dad is government. I really thought I knew the man. Now, what illicit activities could gay cowboys be up to? Money laundering, income tax evasion, counterfeiting." See, that's the thing. Like, they just say gay cowboys. They don't mention anything about the gay thing. None of that. He just thinks they're common criminals, right? I mean,
That's it.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic. Like, anybody, again, if you think this show is so conservative, watch this episode. This is the one.
It's really not. And that, I think, one of the reasons why it has such a diverse audience is because it isn't in the pocket. There is no pocket. You can't put it in a box. You can't put it in a bag. You can't put it anywhere.
There is
the show is so open.
There is one joke here that's right now. I'm going to tell you this joke, and it is a little. I guess in earlier times it would have been funnier than it is now. But Hank says
it could still be funny if you watch Kill Tony. It could still be funny.
He says money laundering, income tax evasion, and counterfeiting. Hank says, "Are you sure that's what he told you? That he was a Fed?" And so a little bit of a reference to the other F word, but yeah. He goes, first he deep tongue kisses my wife, and then he crawls into bed with the federal government. He goes, Dale, where are you going? And he leaves. He goes to the gay rodeo to blow my dad's cover wide open. Bill just kind of pats himself and looks down and goes, oh, no, I can't find the ring. Hank says, that was just a piece of tinfoil we gave you to make you feel important. He goes, oh, thank God. And they just gave him a piece of tinfoil and told him it was the ring.
Yeah.
Okay, so he pulls up in the Bugabago. The turnstile, as he goes through it, hits him in the butt, and he goes, like monkey style. And then he goes, oh, hey, sorry. He apologizes to the turnstile as he's going through it. This is at the LGRA rodeo grounds. Now we're back at the wedding, and Nancy is talking. She says, this was supposed to be my fresh start, my new beginning. Why is God punishing me? Why, Shug? And Dale says, baby, ain't no question about it. Oh, I'm sorry. Boomhauer is over there. He's talking to this lady and goes, baby, ain't no question about it. And then Peggy looks over at Boomhauer and says, Boomhauer, do something. He goes, He clears his throat. He gets up. And he does magic. He turns a hanky into a dove,
Yeah.
which I didn't know Boomhauer could do magic.
Which
He
is
does magic.
funny that he goes and does that.
And then
Yeah.
and then he goes, yeah, man. Oh, thank you very much, man. That did dangle pretty much all I got, man. So at least he got up and was a little bit of a diversion, I guess. We're back at the rodeo.
That's all I got, man.
We're
Talking about
hearing
they're gonna see it.
Turn the Beat Around by Gloria Estefan playing on the sound system. And there's a whole dance tent. Everybody starts dancing. He goes in there to dance. Bug sees him and goes, Dale, what are you doing here? He goes, I'm here to expose you for what you are, an undercover government agent. He goes, government agent? Oh, sweetie, there's been a huge misunderstanding. I'm gay. He goes, if only that were true. Dale, it is true. I'm gay. Nice try, J. Edgar. He goes, Dale, honey. And Dale starts to walk off and goes into the middle of the rodeo arena. And as he's going, he hollers after him and says, Denial ain't just a club outside McManerberry. He goes into the middle of the rodeo floor where the sand is or where the dirt is or whatever. He goes, attention, gay guys. Gay guys. Bug Gribble is an agent of the FBI. He's here to monitor and surveil your every move. If you have something to hide, I suggest you hide it. He goes, listen up, homosexuals and so-called bisexuals. You are being, and then he gets roped by Bug. He hog ties him. The crowd applauds, and he goes, panties. He put the panties on him as he's hog tying.
Yeah.
He goes, force a habit. Now zip it, mister. You're embarrassing me in front of the whole community. And then you had Juan Carlos say, oh my God, is what I'm hearing to be the honest to God truth? Are you a police? He says, are you a police?
Are you a police?
He goes, Juan Pedro, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He goes, how can I believe you? Until a few days ago, I did not even know you had a son. He might have more. He has a bottomless appetite for women. So Dale still does not get it. His dad has told him specifically like 3 times now, and he's
told him right out, and he's still not. It's still not like registering to him.
Still doesn't get it. He goes, he thinks you love women. I thought you told him about us. Are you ashamed of me? He goes, I did tell him, baby, please. You know you'll always be my caballero. He goes, I'm drowning in your lies. And he goes, then swim to me, Juan Pedro. Don't give up on us. The life we built together. I love you. You know that, don't you? He goes, yes. And I love you, Bugalug. And then in the aviators that Bill wears, or that Dale wears,
yeah, you
see the reflection of those two going to kiss. But then you also realize that this was made, when was this, 2002? Yeah. So this is made 20-something years ago. So you can't really show the kiss on TV. Instead, you show the two faces going together, and then in the part of the middle part of the glasses where the nose goes, that's where their faces meet. And so you don't actually see the kiss. And so I'm sure that Fox was like, yeah, you're not showing two guys kissing on TV.
Maybe not. Yeah. I wonder what the first same-sex couple kiss was on TV.
Oh.
I know the first interracial kiss was William Shatner, and I can't remember the actress's name.
Yeah,
that was the first interracial Star Trek.
Yeah,
Star Trek was actually very, very progressive in a lot of the tropes and social.
I don't
things they talked about.
I don't like Star Trek, but it's not because of the progressiveness. It's because I didn't like being preached to through a science fiction show I'm watching on TV.
It had that
always caught me weird.
It had a ton of social commentary.
So we're back at the wedding. Can't Fight the Feeling by REO Speedwagon is playing. You see Bill, he just exclaims rock and roll and then starts throwing up again.
Yeah.
Nancy, here's to new beginnings, and Dale, and the happy endings. Boy, your can looks so freaking hot in that dress for the next 20 years. I'm going to call you Cancy. She goes, oh, Shug. And they just start dancing. She goes, so are you really okay with your dad being gay? He goes, why would I have a problem with it? John Redcorn's gay, and I've been friends with him for years. That's it. See all the credits. So again, you got a question about Dale wondering about this. He's clueless. I'm telling you.
He's absolutely
We get the credits,
clueless.
and then after the credits, we hear Monkey Style. And that is it. That is season 6, episode 18, 6ABE 16, my own private rodeo from April 28th, 2002.
Turn around.
It was a great movie. It was a great episode. I really enjoyed it.
That was a good one.
It was very funny. Okay, so this is a Monday episode. So you're hearing this, watching this, whatever, on Monday. Remember, we put out video on Mondays, and Friday is audio. We have also been adding some weird AI based stuff that sounds kind of like Carl Moss or sounds like Bobby or sounds like whatever. Jimmy Witchard has his own podcast from the racetrack where the cars race.
And we're wanting to replace all those AI voices with your voice.
Yeah, real voices.
So
we'd love to have real
we would
voices.
love for y'all to email in your voice clips for King of the Hill voice actors, characters. Remember, it's not a paid gig. It's just a fun activity to involve yourself into our podcast and have fun with us. But yeah, so email those in at bwaaaakoth@gmail.com. And what we'll do is we'll probably have an episode where we discuss some of y'all's voices, and we'll probably play y'all's voice clips. So just know that any voice clip you send in has the potential to be played out loud.
Yeah.
So just know that when you send it in.
And guys, I want to thank you for always being there. You guys are fantastic. You sit here in the chat. You watch us for, what are we at, 2 hours and 18 minutes now?
Ish. Yeah, we've been
you
going
guys
a while.
Just kind of hung out with us on a Saturday as we try to knock out some episodes. But I want you guys to understand how much we appreciate you. We do have a bit of a live show coming up on the 19th. So we'll see if that still works out. The original idea was to have Bros, Foes, and Heroes, Life is a Song, and King of the Hill or Bois as one show. We'll see how that goes. I don't know where Rusty's at with the baby and all that kind of stuff.
I'm good. I'm good to go.
We're gonna try to do it.
I think what we should do is, like I had suggested to you, I think that we should have me on Bros, Foes, and Heroes, and we just go through and do Bros, Foes, and Heroes, and then have on Zach for Bois, and we all three just stay there.
We could do that. I just want to make sure we have a break in the middle. So
we could. Well, what we could do is we could just do an intermission and just like a meet and greet and say hi to people. So if you're in the area between Dallas and San Antonio, October 19th, drive up to Waco.
Just keep your eyes open. We'll start putting some stuff out.
We'll say more about it too.
Let's see. Today.
This might be after the 19th, right?
So this will be the 14th when this goes out. So it'll be at the end of this week. Guys, thank you again for being here. We appreciate all of you. And one thing left to say.
We matan ye.
Indeed. Bye. This has been a Rogue Media Network production.